Welcome, everybody. We are live. I'm so excited about this. So Andy Nam is on with me. We are going to talk all things coaching, all things LifeWave, and I'm so excited about it. I missed the call with Andy and Margie Schwarting, that we had an hour ago because I had Safari as my default browser for some reason and not Chrome. And StreamYard only works with Chrome. So here we are to continue the conversation. I am so excited about this product that came out through LifeWave, Andy. Mm-hmm. So I know you and Margie just talked about it. I would just like, for whoever's listening now, and for you guys listening, I want you to ask, comment, and ask as many questions as you want about the products. We're here to answer all of your questions. And I am super, super, super excited about this. So let's talk about the new powder that came out. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Yes, I'd love to. It's a shame that, it just released Monday, so I'm excited to get it. And I was hoping to get it today in 2-day shipping, but you know how shipping is. We're not going to see it till tomorrow. But it's a new product called Cellularize by LifeWave. And, like I was just saying earlier, it is great because a lot of people, when they're using the LifeWave product, LifeWave, remember, they're not transdermal, right? So basically, it is using the raw materials inside our body to create these peptides, to create the GHK copper peptide, exactly with the X39 and stuff like that. And what people don't realize is, well, what if you're missing some of those ingredients like lysine, and stuff like that you need to make these GHK copper peptide? What if you don't have copper, right? What if your diet doesn't have copper? Then you're not going to make something out of nothing. So we are so excited. David Schmidt have found that, well, we want these patches. Like you said,
Yeah.
I got them all as like, it's like a deck of cards. It's like
I know.
Right. These patches, they elevate your body's natural peptides,
There's a patch for everything. There's a patch for the SP6, for sugar cravings, to curb sugar cravings. The Eon patch, for inflammation, to reduce inflammation, which is the first stage of any kind of really bad disease. So you want to keep the inflammation under control, and especially with the American SAD diet, that's hard. It's hard to do, So, and it's also great for pain, like a low level of pain. And then the glutathione, which is a detox.
Yes.
Which gold mine with that one after the COVID shot, to detox all that stuff, with the what's that called again? The protein, spike protein.
The spike protein, yes.
Spike protein. That was just crazy. But thanks to you, Andy, I had a blood test done, and I saw that it's very, very close to normal. Thank God.
Exactly. So low. I love it.
So crazy. But thank you, glutathione. And the X39, and then the energy enhancer. This is what a lot of athletes wear. And Phelps had it on when he won the Olympics.
Yeah, Olympics, exactly.
This has been around for 20 years, you guys. Yeah. It's so good. So many of the athletes are wearing it. And it's not like it's steroids or meds or anything like that, because it's not medicine. It's technology. Yes. So it's non-transdermal. It doesn't go through the skin. It's not a medicine. But it's a technology that brilliant man, David Schmidt, invented using the body's infrared. So it's basically mirroring, what the body already has to work, to help the body do what it's designed to do, and that's to heal itself, right? Exactly. And then the X39 is the flagship one. And that has like a little bit of everything, and that is like a powerful, powerful patch.
Yes.
Like this is the king. Or queen, so of the kingdom or the queendom. And then the carnosine, which is great. I wear that also for the heart health, and muscle, and all that other kind of stuff, which is amazing. X49, the stamina and muscle building, all of these things are just absolutely amazing. And there's more. I just grabbed a handful. I didn't expect to go through all of them right here, but this is my medicine cabinet. Andy, can you talk about how, and we're not saying don't see your doctor and don't take your medicine. We're not saying that at all. What I'm saying is if I have pain, I'm not going for a Tylenol anymore. I'm putting an Eon patch on, or it's just so good for everything. And it helped when I had vertigo.
Correct.
Gonzo, gone in 45 minutes. The Eon patch on my ear and the
Yep.
X39, and I couldn't believe it after a month of my equilibrium was completely off, and walking through the airport and having to speak on stage. And I was like, how am I going to do this, in Arizona? And then Michelle put the patches on me, and it was just in 45 minutes, it was gone. The dizziness was gone. So can you talk about how, like, this is literally like the new medicine cabinet, only it's not medicine.
Exactly. It is so funny because when people have an ailment, headache, something hurts, they spring, first thing you reach for is the Tylenol, right? You're reaching for Tylenol. And, the funny thing is, Tylenol isn't taking away the pain. It's just numbing your senses of the pain. The pain is still there,
Yeah.
right? It's not actually fixing the problem. And what Tylenol also does is it lowers glutathione, which is not what you want to do. Like, glutathione lowers inflammation, glutathione raises your immune system, yet it brings down glutathione, right? So, it's funny because, like, the best thing to reach for is ice wave, right? If you have sprained your hands, some pain, you pulled your back just getting up wrong. Ice wave is just so amazing. And it's all about moving energy. You moving energy through, acupressure points, chakra points, whatever you want to call it. We're beings of light and energy, and it is just so amazing that people have forgotten that, right? For ancient civilizations have always worshipped light, and that's what we are, right? We're light beings, and like you said, David Schmidt has figured it out. It's like, depending on which frequency of light we're reflecting back to our body, we're elevating a different peptide that just heals the body in a different way. It is just, I don't want to say heal. It's going to help our body feel more wellness, right? You don't want to get in trouble here.
Right.
Pharma.
But it's also amazing how, and again, we can't say that it heals, but it's amazing how people that wear these patches, their heart condition goes away, their cancer goes away. Margie, who was just on a call with you right before this, the one that I missed, she has a cyst on her ovaries, but like a tumorous kind of a thing. And they watched her for a couple of years. She was talking about having surgery, to remove the ovaries, and because she had breast cancer and a certain kind. And after wearing these patches for just 1 year, I've been wearing it for 1 year also, and amazing things. And it shrank.
Yeah.
Her thing shrank. I mean, like, there's so many. She also went from osteoporosis to osteopenia. However you say that, like, it's reversing itself. Because Margie has lupus, and she's so good at educating people on this. Margie is a natural teacher, and she's a living example also, just like you with the accident, and me, with everything, all the heart disease and like so many different things, and now better and living life. It's so funny because Nikola Tesla always talks about energy, frequency, and vibration, and so did Einstein. And I was saying for years, like, the future of medicine is not big pharma. Like, if anything, it's hurting us more than it's helping us, because what they're masking is creating another problem in another part of the body, as it's just, like you said, numbing the pain, or just masking, whatever it's doing, no matter what part of the body it is. And energy, frequency, and vibration, I said for years, is the future of medicine. That stuff is sound therapy also, in addition to the frequency, is the future of medicine. And so I started wearing the patch last year, and I started to see a holistic doctor back in March or April, who I love, Lenny Izzo, and he's here on Long Island in Huntington. He's absolutely amazing. And he uses sound therapy and frequency as treatments. And I'm saying to myself, oh, my pinch me, because I feel like, every morning I say, Lord, grant me heaven on earth for me and those around me, and me and everyone around me. And I feel like it's just like time bending, because now I am treating myself, with frequency. I sit in a frequency chair. I lay on a table that literally has a Nikola Tesla battery underneath it.
Love it.
A lamp at my head, a lamp at my feet, and charging my cells, with the frequency and vibration, with the energy. And these patches work with frequency. And every patch, the crystals, the amino acids, and the sugar, and everything that's in it, they're laid out in a different way in each patch so that it gives off a certain frequency that the body can work with to help the body heal. Can you talk about that? It's so exciting.
That is just so amazing because it's like you said, our body works off frequencies, and there's more and more signs showing that. And even like what are you talking about, the Tesla coil and everything works on certain frequencies, and they're taking away a lot of those frequencies. Like 432 is a good frequency. Like there's a lot of, like, music at that would be healing, but they don't put it at that frequency. They change it to a different frequency, which actually harms you. Right.
Yeah.
So,
In the
there is
70s.
more and
Yeah.
more technology showing about the frequencies. And like you said, our bodies are emitting infrared light, right? We got certain frequencies of light, and depending on which frequencies you're reflecting back, we can activate different ways for our bodies to innately heal itself. So, that's really how the LifeWave patches work. They're non-transdermal. There's no drugs. They are literally acting like little mirrors. It is so amazing, this technology. It's almost sci-fi. Like it's something that you would think back of, Buck Rogers or
Yes.
or Star Trek. It's like, here they're using a little tricorder on you and beep, you're fixed. But it is amazing how technology have gone so far, and people's thinking, they're catching up. They don't understand it and they don't believe it. But like you said, it's like, like Margie's cyst, that's disappearing. That's not something that modern medicine can talk about, right? They can't figure that out, right? For us men, we always worry about a prostate size and stuff like that. And even mine, in the last 2 years, every time I'm doing mine, the numbers are getting smaller and smaller, right? And it's like, wow, I've been doing food, exercise, detox for the last 13 years. Nothing's changed much. But once I started using the patches, my testosterone is going up. These are things that doctors said you need drugs or artificial therapy to boost.
Right.
And we're seeing this in real time, right?
Yeah.
This is science and technology at the next level, but more so it is our body healing itself when it's supported, right? And that's why I'm so excited with this new Cellularize, because like I said, now it's going to give us the raw ingredients that a lot of people are missing.
Yeah.
And when they say that, oh, we're not getting that big of a result, well, they're going to feel the results now, because now your body's going to have what it needs to create these peptides that's going to elevate your health.
And I was saying when I was on the call with you for about 30 seconds before I got cut off, because I had to go on my phone. I couldn't get it on the call. You'll see any advertising on my Facebook page that it was Margie, myself, and Andy on the 4:00 call. But when I went on, there was a problem with the laptop between Chrome and Safari and all that kind of stuff. I couldn't fix it. And so I went on with the phone because, we're very resourceful people, right?
Exactly.
So I got on the phone, and then I ended up getting a call while I was on the phone, which blacked me out, and I couldn't get back. I couldn't get back on. So I called Andy. I was like, let's just do another Facebook Live after. But this is amazing. And we have a comment. So yeah, if anybody ask us questions, comments, we'd love to see it. And Samuel says, absolutely amazing. Great work watching you live from Kibera slums.
Yeah, all the way from Kenya. Thank you, Sam, for watching us.
Wow. Well, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. And I'm hoping that LifeWave gets there as well. We
need to get it into Africa.
everywhere.
We need to get it around the world. Like, this is something that everyone can take advantage of, right? Right now, the health and wellness movement is huge because so many people are sick now. There are more sick people now than healthier people. And people don't know why, right? And like you said, big pharma is not the answer.
No.
Right?
And people are waking up. There's a lot of people that are waking up now. They're not just believing everything that they hear and everything that they're told. They're asking a lot of questions, which is fantastic, because we have the sick model, which is what we've had for the last 100 years, and now we have more of a health and wellness model, which, like, my grandfather, I remember being a kid, and my grandfather was born in 1899, so the turn of the century. But when I was a little girl, like in the late 60s, early 70s, I don't know how old I was, but I said, Grandpa, why did you put a spider web on your leg? Like, I was like, ew, you know? And he
Yes.
said, well, spider webs have penicillin.
Oh,
And that's why,
right.
so it's just like everything in nature is there to heal us,
Yes.
you know, and then Big Pharma came around 100 years ago, and that's a whole long story, and it serves its place, you know, like if
Yes,
we
it
break
does.
an ankle, or break a leg, or
Mhm.
we're having a heart attack, or, you know, like for the moment, for the emergency,
Yes.
it's fabulous. And I love my doctors and I love my
Yes.
nurses. It's fabulous. It's just the long term, they don't have it
Right.
figured out yet, you know,
Right.
and then the medicines are just causing more problems for us than helping us. But for the short term, it's fabulous. Anything long term, I really believe nature is where it's at.
Oh, for
And
sure.
this is a holistic, all natural kind of treatments, these patches, and they're so easy. 12 hours on, 12 hours off, you know?
Exactly.
And the powder, I was saying, like, the powder, the powder is like, I don't know, whatever it cost. And I forget how much it cost when I looked
It's
at it, but I remember,
$70. It's very reasonable.
and if you buy 3, you know, if you buy, it's 70 if you buy 1, and then it's cheaper if you buy
Yeah, it's
2.
60,
I'm
you buy
buying
2, you buy 3 is 50, like
that's
$50.
free.
Yeah,
But that costs less than what I was buying
yeah,
for 1. For one,
exactly.
I was buying for 1, and I thought, oh, I'm getting what, you know, what I need. And this has a lot of good stuff in it, and it
Yep,
didn't have half the stuff that's in
exactly.
this new one. That's what I love about this man. Like, he makes it affordable. You
Mhm.
don't have, it's for everybody. Like, and it doesn't matter what budget that you have. If, you know, if you want to get a cup of coffee every day, you can afford this. You know what I mean? Like, it's for everybody. And it's also preventative, you know, like I have been saying since I met you, you know, what they're doing to us in the air and the water and
Mhm.
the food, you know, with the animals and the plants and the pesticides and the steroids and the crazy, crazy stuff that's going into the food and the soil and everything, you know, it's our first line of defense.
Yes, it is.
It's really, you know, or going on a plane, you know, you throw a glutathione patch on,
Yep.
and it's your first line of defense, you know, about getting sick. It's every household should have it, and I pray to God that it gets to Kenya soon, um, because I want every family, I want every person in the world to be able to wear these and have it be a part of life. Unfortunately, you know, it is a world problem with
Yes.
what's going on with all the toxic stuff, you know, the chemtrails and this and like crazy, crazy stuff that's going on. It's all toxic to us. And, you know, this man, genius, he came up with something that is affordable for every single person to be able to wear, you know, and I just feel so good about it. And I feel like there's something that I can help my kids with.
Mhm.
You know, if they're not feeling well, my son he was working a hard labor kind of a job, and he had a pain in his foot. And my son's a
Mhm.
big guy. He's a big, big guy. He doesn't complain about anything, you know, and he couldn't even limp. His foot was in so much pain from, like, if he said it felt like a nail going through the top of his
Mhm.
foot, not like the balls of his feet or the arch or anything, but like a nail going through the top of the foot. And I was like, oh my God, I'm thinking infection or something. And I said, do me a favor, just put an Eon patch on and sleep with
Mhm.
it, you know? And he did. And he came home and I said, you know, how's he? Goes, honestly, Ma, it's a little bit better. And he was still limping a little bit, but now he
Right.
could actually limp. He had a hop before that. He couldn't even limp on it. And 2 days and the pain was gone. 2 days.
Isn't that
2
amazing? And
days.
no Tylenol,
No,
no aspirin, you
no,
know?
no,
Exactly.
no, no. So it's good. And Margie and I are going out to Peconic. For all of you here on Long Island, I'm inviting you out to Peconic. It's beautiful. It's by the Hamptons. That's absolutely gorgeous. And there's a wellness event. And Andy has helped Margie and I get ready for this one. So we're going to bring the patches. I'm also going to do a book signing. So we're going to talk about Life Wave, because Andy and I and Margie all agree it's mind, body, spirit connection. You
Mhm.
know, we can't have one and ignore the other two. You know, like, we got to
Exactly.
take care of our mind and our body, and then our spirit is very, very happy. It's like the mother bear that's like, you go, guys, you know, very, very happy. So my work is mindset work. You know, I work with high achievers, with CEOs and founders, and so many different people. And you could be the CEO of your family, you know, a mother or a father that's just struggling and overwhelmed. And I love coaching people and helping them figure out what they want, or if they know what they want, going and getting it and making it happen. So that's what we're doing out in Peconic, and you guys are more than welcome. It's called Be Well, and I'll send more information out on Facebook about that. So it's super, super cool. There'll be a whole bunch of vendors there talking about health and wellness, and we will have our LifeWave patches and celebrating the day there with that. And then,
So
of course,
when is that event, Erin?
that's the 29th.
Oh, it's coming up.
Yeah. I got the poster boards all done. I was at Staples yesterday. I am super excited. Let me just go in here and just 29th. Yeah. 29th from noon until 8 o'clock at night. And there's going to be music and cocktails, and it's going to be a fun event, you know, but so we'll be there. So come looking for Margie and I. And I want to thank you, Andy, for helping us put that all together, you know, with the posters and all that kind of fun stuff. And if you can't wait and you can't make it to Peconic, then reach out to Andy and I. Yes. You know, we want to, and Margie, you know, because the three of us are like three musketeers.
Exactly.
with these shows. And because we want to help you, we want to see you live a healthy life. And Andy, let's talk about Andy is a longevity and functional nutrition coach, and he is amazing at it. And you know everything about the body, you know, and just so much. Yeah, I call Andy all the time, like, okay, what about this? And what about this? And how about this? Because when it comes to LifeWave patches, it just does so much for the body that I have more questions, and because it's just so good. So Andy, let's talk about your coaching.
Yeah, I would love to. You know, it's like, you know, a lot of people, they may have heard that I had like a bad car accident that basically broken my body, and suffering for pains and suffering for over 20 years with big pharma. And then when they said that it can only get worse, you know, you're doing pretty good. Well, you know, that was the nail that, you know, that broke my back really. And when I started on my own journey looking for holistic ways to heal myself, and in the last 13 years, you know, I'm diving into everything that's not big pharma, you know, starting with the different supplements, starting with detox. And in the last 2-3 years, you know, there's so much talk about stem cells, and I'm very big into stem cells. You know, I use all the different technologies that shows to elevate stem cells, like hyperbaric chambers, infrared therapy, and stuff like that. And most of these things are very expensive, right?
Yeah.
They take a lot of time, and that's when LifeWave came to, you know, it's sort of funny. It's like things come to your life for a reason, right? I really believe in that. They just like when I met, everything gets introduced to our life for a reason. And, you know, LifeWave came into my life, and it's like, yeah, you know, I love the product. It fits perfectly into my model for holistic healing. No chemicals into your body. And for me, it's like, you know, I help people reverse chronic conditions. That's really what I'm about. You know, I'm very passionate with type 2 and type 3 diabetes, you know, which is Alzheimer's and dementia. People don't know what type 3 diabetes is, but a lot of it is sort of like what Erin says. It's inflammation. Everything's driven by inflammation. So for me, it's like, you know, if you want to reach out to me and want to learn a little bit more on living a healthier lifestyle, I would love to, you know, work with you week to week, month to month, whichever way you want. Or if you want to learn more about how you can make the LifeWave patches work better. See, a lot of people think that this is a magical patch. You put it on and you can continue living a crappy lifestyle. That's how it works, right? It just right. So
it'll help. It will help, but you won't get the maximum benefit from it.
Exactly.
It will definitely help improve certain things in their life, in their health, even with a crappy lifestyle. But you want to have a full life. You want to learn how to do it. And you're not going to get taught that when you're in school eating frozen pizzas for lunch.
Not at all.
You know, and chocolate milk, you know, in a carton, you know, when you're from kindergarten to 12th grade. Like that's not the healthy way, you know, to live your life. But there's no time like the present to start, you know, and to make, they always say like little shifts make big changes, you know? So if you could tweak your diet, working with Andy, in your lifestyle, and Andy's wife is also a longevity coach. So the two of them together are just absolutely amazing. And I remember, Andy, when you told me that you didn't even need with these patches, you didn't need the hyperbaric chamber anymore. You saved like
not
3
anymore. We
hours.
don't do it anymore,
Yeah.
and it's an expensive procedure, right? We used to buy like a 10 time pass so it's $85. That's still $850.
Yeah.
Right. Like how many people's got $850 to just throw around? I'm not saying that I'm wealthy, but like that was what I needed for the stem cell therapy.
Right.
But we don't do that anymore. And two of us, that's like what, $1,700, right? Here you are, re-elevating our stem cells for a cup of coffee a day.
With the X39, talk about that for a minute. How the X39 activates, because this is fascinating to me, and this is why I am on fire. Margie and I were going door to door, like to all the different businesses the other day, and we just went in like, this is my 4th business. Like this is my passion project. I just want everybody to know about this. Because when I had cancer in 1991, nobody talked holistically. Nobody told me about meditation and visualization and affirmations and all these things that we could do for ourselves, that we have Christ consciousness and that we have the power of God within us. Nobody. And I went to an all girls Catholic school. Nobody talked about this in church on Sundays. And my father's a PhD in philosophy. Nobody was talking about this. And I started reading the personal development books when the doctors kept telling me I was going to die. They said if the chemo didn't work as fast as the tumor was growing, I'd be dead in 30 days. So because it was a rapid growing cancer. So I don't even know where the books came from, but Shaki Gawaine's Creative Visualization and John Kabat-Zinn's Full Catastrophe Living. Obviously, Creative Visualization introduced me to visualization, and Full Catastrophe Living introduced me to mindfulness meditation. And it changed my life. And I've been teaching it ever since, because up until recently, nobody was talking about it. So I was back then in the 90s on fire to empower cancer patients, and the doctors started having their patients call me at home. They couldn't understand what I was doing. Every time they come in crying, they were crying, tell me I was going to die. I'm like, get out. They'd call my parents to come say goodbye. I'm like, get out, you're wrong. And then when I kept living, then I lived, and then they told me I'd never have kids. I have 3 with no medical intervention whatsoever. So anyway, the way I was back then when I was on fire to empower cancer patients with what I knew that nobody was talking about, that's how I feel about LifeWave and the patches. And I want to get as many people on these patches because, again, it's so affordable. Think about the money that you spend on garbage, if you're just going to go out and get nachos with chili and cheese or something, whatever, like, you spend a fortune on stuff or things that you don't even need for the house and clothes that you never wear. And this is just, it just improves your quality of life. Correct. And again, we can't say it heals anything, but we have seen magically how it has made, like I typed every disease that I could think of in the search bar of one of the groups that I belong in. And it was just testimony after testimony, because it's been around for 20 years, testimony after testimony, but it's like the best kept secret. So that's why I was going around to like the wellness businesses around me with Margie. And we would just like, you got to do this. You got to do this. You got to get it for your patients. You got to, you got to educate people on this. And then they were excited about it. They were like, oh my God. And there were 2 places that already knew about it. And they were super, super excited about it. And the event that we're going to, Margie and I, in Peconic, the woman that she has a place in Jersey and one here in Smithtown, her businesses, and she loves the product. She absolutely loves the product. She's like, you got to come to my event. You got to bring it. She absolutely loves the product. So that's how we got invited to the Peconic event for Be Well. And I know that you're just as passionate as I am about it.
Oh, for sure. For sure. This is life changing. And, I'm shouting at the top of the mountaintops, trying to get it out to your friends and family. And those are the ones we love the most, to be honest.
Yes.
And those are the ones that are the most resistant and, stuck on big pharma and medication. But, I'm hoping little bit by little, they're slowly willing to try different things. So, I'm hoping, as we're sharing testimonials and sharing the results we're seeing, it's going to change your mind. And really, there's nothing to lose, right? This is non-transdermal. There's no drugs. It doesn't affect any medication. If you're not feeling well, if you don't got the energy, just getting more energy is worth it in itself, right?
Yeah.
How more life you can enjoy when you have the energy to just get up and go, right? I think
Yeah.
that's amazing in itself, right?
And you
So
have all the testimonial, you have all the pictures with all those athletes, professional athletes that are
yes,
wearing it. It works. I saw something with RFK wearing it.
yep,
Like RFK. Come on, I mean, make America healthy again. Like it's
yes,
just that to me, that's like the best advertisement walking. But it's like the best kept secret, and I just really want it to be a household name
yes,
quickly. And I want doctors to be open to it. And I know that they're brainwashed when they go to medical school and it's just big pharma, big pharma. They're not really educated very much on nutrition or anything holistic. But I'm hoping now that they're just opening their minds up a little bit more because there is a little bit more of a pushback.
yes,
People are asking for it more. So I'm hoping that they'll include it. I know my holistic doctor, and I just started seeing him. I've been on these patches for a year, and I just started seeing him in March. And he's wearing the patches, and he's 75 years old. He's a former
exactly.
NFL football player, and 75. The guy, I watch him jog across the street, and the guy's got so much energy. I watch him kneel down on the ground, like he doesn't have to push himself up, and they're like it's amazing,
Yes,
And he told me, do not stop wearing those patches.
yes.
And he said he still wears them every single day, and he's 75 years old and just doing absolutely amazing. I love that doctor, Lenny Izzo. So, is there anything on your head of your heart that we didn't talk about that?
No, I think this is amazing. I love it that we're able to connect because I was feeling so bummed we couldn't get you on. Because it's like people need to know what it feels like to have that energy, that vitality. Like we're loving life, right? And
Yeah.
and I think that life wave patches are helping with that. It's just amazing how I feel. It's like in the morning is like, because I sleep without it, and first thing in the morning after my shower and pop it on is like it's already it's almost like Super Mario Brothers when you eat the mushroom.
Yes,
It is such
yes.
an amazing feeling.
Yeah.
And for people out there, sort of like your doctor is like 75, is like, why would you stop wearing it if it makes you continue to feel young, right? And
Right.
for a cup of coffee, right? And
Right.
it's actually cheaper than a cup of coffee. Lately they've been running. I
Yeah.
don't know if you saw the commercial for KFC, and I don't eat KFC, but they're
Mhm.
running a commercial for KFC for $8, $10 for 8 pieces of chicken, and for that, or you can buy a cup of coffee. So now they're saying a cup of coffee could be $10. So here
Yeah.
you are, for
Crazy.
$10 you can buy almost 3 patches, 3 days worth.
You can't get
So
a stick of gum for
exactly.
it's cheaper than a stick of gum these days. I guess we'll say that instead of the
Right.
instead of
So
the
it's like, what
coffee.
is your health really worth to
Yeah.
you? Right.
Yeah.
So, you can tell that me and Erin so passionate about it.
Yeah.
And this is something that we're going to share with people, shouting at the mountaintops, because I think this can really help people. Even if think you're healthy, this is still going to bring you up to the next level.
1,000%. 1,000%. And I wish Margie was on the call. She's, like she has so many testimonials for these patches. And if anybody's watching, before we wrap up, if you do have any questions or any comments, make sure that you put it in the chat, in the comment section now, and I'll bring it up, and Andy and I will answer your questions. The last thing that I want to say, Andy, is also the age reversal.
Yes.
Like, I'm 59 going on 60, and you're double nickels. You're 55. And I know from us speaking, like, we're just getting started.
Oh, yeah.
Like you and I have more energy now because we've talked about this. We have more energy now than we did in our 30s.
Oh, easily.
It's incredible. And I want you to just explain to them also a lot of products you'll see, oh, wear this eye cream and wear this, da, 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 da. It's age defying. By the way,
Yes.
I love Minna's face cream, the facial wash thing. Oh, so good. It's so good. But with regard to the patches, it's not age defying, it's age reversing.
Yes, it is.
Can you explain how?
Yeah, basically, we touch a little bit about stem cells, and the number of stem cells you have in your body basically determines how old you are biologically, right? So as we're getting older, our stem cells decline, right? And that's from, all the shitty air, the water, food, all the things that we're exposed to. And depending if you suffered cancer like you did, or suffered a big sickness, or a motor vehicle accident and stuff like that, that would even decline your stem cells faster. So that's why you see some people in the 30s look like they're in their 50s and 60s, because they depleted their stem cells, right?
Right.
So here we are. We're wearing LifeWave X39 patches, and each day you're wearing it, we're slowly reactivating dormant stem cells, but actually activating new stem cells, right? So we're actually are reverse aging. So like right now, I've been on the product for 2 years. I'm 55. I've been looking at all my blood markers. They're about 10 years younger, right? So technically, my number on my driver's license does not match what we are inside, and that's something that we all should thrive for. That number on the birthdays, like so many people are so ashamed to celebrate the birthdays. Oh, it's just another year. I look older. It's like, no, brag about your birthday. Look, I'm 60.
Right,
I'm fine
right,
the way I look.
right,
Right? No fillers, no Botox.
right.
Right? You know what I'm saying? All natural. And
Yeah.
a lot of people just don't believe that, and they just see your energy, what you can do. And supplements are great, and but it's not enough, right?
Right.
Like these energy patches, elevating your stem cells, that is really the fountain of youth. It really is.
It's so funny because you just said with the Botox and the fillers and stuff like that. I went to my friend Michelle's house.
Yes.
Margie and I'm very close to Michelle, and Michelle's been doing my hair for over 10 years. And I said, Michelle, I feel like, because I have a thick head of hair, I said, I feel
Yeah.
like it's getting thicker. And she's like, and it's healthier, Erin. Like your hair is even healthier. And this is just from wearing these patches. Like I
Right.
didn't do anything differently. And she's doing my hair and she's looking at me and I'm like, like, what's up? And she's like, did you get fillers or Botox? I go, no. And she's like, look, you get the lines, like, I didn't get fillers or Botox. And she's like, your skin looks amazing. Like she's like, you look younger. And it's just amazing, and then I just was looking myself in the mirror a little closer than I normally I just go in, hurry up, get myself ready and then just go. And I noticed like even my eyes, because these patches also help with your eyes.
Yes.
Even my eyes, I have heavy Irish eyes, right? So, but I don't really have a lot of lid because I have the heavy Irish eyes. And I was like, oh, I have a little bit more lid going on now. But it is age reversing, and you just feel good.
Yes.
When I was at Sloan, there was a thing, that movement, look good, feel good. So they would come in because you lose your hair and it's awful, like especially as a young woman. I was 25 years old. I had the 80s still. It was 1991. I had the big red hair, like, and then I lost it all, and it was like my identity.
Yeah.
Which was a big blessing to lose it because I got really clear on who I truly was, which was a blessing, But anyway, they had a whole program, look good, feel good. So they would come in and they'd have the wraps and they would put wraps on you. And, a girl would come in and put makeup on or whatever and draw on eyebrows and all this other kind of stuff. And I was thinking about the patches and I thought, feel good, look good.
Yes.
Feel good, look good. And even with regard to confidence,
And
with regard to self-image, which you and I talk about in the agency all the time, and we're going to have our event in July, so we'll post more about that also, where Andy's going to be speaking about all of this, as the longevity and functional nutrition coach. We're having the Life on Track coaching agency event in July. But I really believe when you feel good about yourself, you just look better. Your energy is better. Yes. You exude the not just the confidence, but it's self-image is how you see yourself, which will determine how you feel about yourself, which is the self-confidence. So if you're seeing yourself as not worthy, not good enough, lazy, all this negative self-talk, and they, as children, we hear a lot of different things. Our parents mean well, and, but we pick up a lot of self-limiting beliefs as we're kids, and most people live it out for a lifetime. That was another blessing that the cancer was for me, that I was able to unwrap all that stuff, you know. Doesn't mean you don't fall backwards, but you bounce back a lot faster. But feel good, look good.
I
And
like that.
yeah,
We should start using more of that, because that is amazing if you think about it.
yeah, yeah. It's great energy. It really is, you know, and it's natural. It's just authentically you. That's what the glory of these patches. It allows you to have more energy, to have better vibration, which is better frequency that you're giving
Yes.
off, you know, better relationship with
Mhm.
people, you know, your different relationships. And, you know, I don't know about you, but I've even noticed more patience. You
Mhm.
know, I don't even know, because I'm usually like, let's get it done. Let's get it done now. Let's get it done
Yeah.
yesterday. Let's get it done, get it done,
Yes.
get it done. And like my work, my personal development work for this season is patience with the process.
Mhm.
Patience with the process. Things aren't going to happen on Erin Lay's timetable. You know what I mean? Like I
Good.
just have patience. And I used to get like, oh God, let's wrap it up. Let's get it done. You know, like if it was me, I'd get it done. And now I'm like, it's okay. All in divine order and divine timing.
Mhm.
You know, and it's just this, I feel a lot more patience, you know, which is beautiful, because I do know that the Eon works for anxiety also, right?
Yes, it does.
If you
It's
wear it on your
really like just chills you right out, you know. It is so good to get rid of those ants, those automatic negative thoughts, you know. It's so amazing.
it's all right. So now you all know why we love this. And Shalene says, hi guys. Hi guys. Hey Shalene. Shalene's one of my coaches in the Life on Track coaching agency also, and she will be speaking in July's event as well. I'm super excited for that. And all right. So any closing thoughts?
Reach out to us. Reach out to us if
Yes.
you want to learn more about, you know, mindset. You know, reach out to Erin, right? You know, she'll help you up level your, you know, your thoughts in every other way. And like I said, she's my life coach. Like we all have our life coaches,
Yeah.
and she has changed my life dramatically in the last 6 months, close to a year now, 8 months now that I've been working with her. You know, she's
October.
opened my mind to so many things that you don't see, right? And you know, when it comes down to health, you know, the things that may be missing in your in your secret tool chest, reach out to me. I love to help you in any which way we can help you elevate your health. And like I said, the Life Wave patches, you know, we want everyone on there. It just help you not physically but mentally too. It's just gonna up level you in every aspect of your life.
It will. It will. And this is where life is so fun, Andy. You know, you became one of my clients, and then through LifeWave, I partnered with you,
Yes.
you know, for LifeWave, because also if you're looking for a business, if you wanted to start
Mhm.
your own business, there's a lot of money to be made in
Yes.
LifeWave, you know, and we're not going to get into that right now. But if you are looking, you know, for a side hustle, or if you
Yeah.
want, if you're looking for a full-time, you know, I don't even call it a job because it's a
Good.
calling. Like I'm
Yes.
called to do this, you know.
Yes.
I didn't need a fourth business, but I'm called to do it. I feel like it's a calling, and there's quite a few people that I know that could benefit from this. And
Mhm.
again, just you know, just because I know that they would love it.
Exactly.
And I also want Michelle, if you're watching, I met Michelle. She's such a beautiful soul. I was on my friend Valentina's TV show, The Breakfast Club show,
Mhm.
and Michelle was one of the other guests. And Michelle works with the people, the elderly that have dementia and Alzheimer's. You know, I mean, what a beautiful soul. And
Mhm.
she's interested in these patches for her clients, for herself and the
Yeah.
clients as well. And so I want to make sure that I get her connected with you. I know we're doing phone tag and stuff like that. But Michelle, I want to make sure that you and Andy connect, because it would really, you know, there's just so many studies on
Mhm.
how, and so many testimonials on, and believe me, there are case studies. This is not just like
Yes.
willy-nilly, you know, there's scientific case studies that he did, that David Schmidt did, the
Yes.
founder. He's got over 100 patents. You know, the man is absolutely incredible. But Michelle, I want you to connect with Andy as well. All right. And there's a few others that are trying to link up with you, trying to connect with
Yes.
you.
Love it.
So, all right, guys, I want you to celebrate life and you'll have a life worth celebrating. Life is too short for anything else. So celebrate life and you'll have a life worth celebrating. Have a wonderful day. Oh, wait, if you wanted to reach out to Margie, she was on the last call. That's Margie's email address, warrior4950@gmail. And for me, I have my website, erinlay.com. I don't have my email in here. My email is info@erinlay.com.
Easy peasy.
Or you can go to erinlay.com and reach out to me there. All right, guys, have a wonderful day. Have a magnificent day. And always remember, live onward and upward. Love you.
Love you guys.